How many times have you called 911? How many times a year? How many times in your lifetime? Have you been able to tell them where you are? Have they been able to find you? If they have, you're lucky. And if they haven't been able to find your location, you're not alone. Every year, 240 million calls to 911 are made, whether they're true emergencies or just accidental dials. 911 was implemented 48 years ago as the first national emergency response system. Landline phones were the first to interact with the system. Because landlines are stationary phones, dispatchers were, and still are today, able to connect the phone numbers with the billing address, giving dispatchers an exact location to send emergency responders to. Since then, we've upgraded technology over and over again. Today we have cell phones, and 70% of the calls to 911 come from a cell phone. Cell phone calls bounce off the nearest tower, and the dispatch center closest to that tower will be the one to answer the emergency call. Unfortunately, as the Denver Post found, that cell phone tower could be 22 to 45 miles away from the caller, meaning that the dispatch center that answers the call could be in a completely different county. Today, the most common technology found in dispatchers is Enhanced 911, or E911, where dispatchers can receive your phone number and the location of the cell phone tower handling the call. Dispatchers are also usually able to receive an approximate location radius based on the latitude and longitude of your phone. Unfortunately, current standards allow that radius to be almost a quarter-mile wide. Cell phones are only legally required to transmit any sort of location information 66% of the time. Our cell phones are able to record our location information. With iPhones, you can send someone your location in a text. You can say, "I am," and it pops up with the location thing. Smartphones are able to transmit this information to other apps also, like Uber or Lyft. Many of us live in places where dispatch centers can afford to continuously upgrade their technology, and many of us are very lucky that our cell phones transmit a decently accurate location when we call 911. But even then, cell phone locations don't come up as 100% accurate every single time in the dispatch center. Dispatchers can refresh the mapping system, but the location may still be blocks away, or it might not come up at all. I visited my local dispatch center earlier this year, and I watched a landline phone number pop up with an exact location, and I watched a cell phone pop up going down the highway, and their location didn't come up at all. Just their phone number. For more information, check out my blog. The link is in the description below, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment. But here are some things that we can do to make sure 911 is as trusted as it should be. First, visit the website fcc.gov for contact information. Email the chairman or any of the commissioners. The link to this website is in my blog. Push them to enforce stronger requirements on cell phone companies for transmission of location information. Right now, the FCC has set in place a deadline so that cell phone companies upgrade their cell phones to provide an accurate dispatchable location 80% of the time. Unfortunately, 80% is not enough for location accuracy, and these standards aren't set to be mandatory until 2021. Second, know how to call 911. My parents had me and my brother trained since we were able to talk, basically. We tell the dispatcher our full name, our phone number, and where we are before any other information is given. And that's what we all should be doing. We all know our names and our phone numbers, but if we don't know where we are, give them clues. If you're on the highway, tell them about mile markers and exit signs. And if you know the address that you're at or you know where you are, tell them that. Full name, phone number, and where you are. This way, if the call gets disconnected, they have a callback number. They have your name so they know who called, and they have the location so that they can send emergency responders right away. Last, create a Smart 911 profile. Smart911.com is a website that allows any user for free to create an emergency profile. Dispatchers only have access to these profiles in certain areas of the United States, like DuPage County in Illinois, But if you're traveling and call 911 in a county that can access that information, it can greatly benefit you. Your profile can include medical history, emergency contacts, phone numbers, addresses, allergies, and pictures, so dispatchers know what you look like before they even get there. You could also include your family and pets on one single profile, and it's all free. When you call 911 and your Smart 911 profile pops up, they have your information so they know who's calling or who's in trouble, and then they can get dispatchers that information en route. 911 is a commendable system, but so many people have lost their lives because our technology just doesn't interact the way that we'd like it to. Cell phones don't always transmit location information. Dispatch centers might not always have the technology to pick it up. There are so many people who have lost their lives to this issue. And just like them, when we call 911, we want them to be where we are.